What's up, rock stars? Happy Friday, and hopefully your day has started off well, or you're having a great day, depending on what time of day you see this video. And I just came out of recording this right after morning mass, so day 3 on my Lenten journey of 40 churches, 40 days, and came to a church. It was a little bit of a drive. It was about 20-minute drive, maybe 25 minutes, a little bit further than I had anticipated, but it was so worth it. It was so amazingly worth it. And that is part of, symbolic and representation, or great representation of this Lenten journey, is that it might seem a little bit longer, might be a little bit harder, or like I had no idea where I was going. I was just following the GPS to get me here. So very representative and symbolic of this Lenten journey. But what I wanted to share with you today is 2 things. Again, one being that this church is the church itself, and even the community, and the community that it serves, is so dramatically different than the church that I went to yesterday. Yesterday I was at St. Joseph's in Stuart. This is St. Andrew Church in still zip code, or the location is still considered Stuart, Florida, but dramatically different churches as far as the actual building. Now the mass is the same. It doesn't matter what type of building that it's in, and it can even be outside. It doesn't need to have a building, but it just really has been, and I started remembering from last year when I did this Lenten journey and visiting all the churches, is how dramatically different the churches, the structures are, but the mass is the same. So it doesn't matter. Don't be intimidated by the building, by the physical structure of the building, because what happens inside, and even the people, don't be intimidated by the people. They may be different. They may look different. They may act different. But what happens inside is exactly the same. So it just really struck me, like this church, the church yesterday is it's a much smaller church as far as the structure itself. Very different architecture, decor inside. Yet one yesterday was very wooden, much older in appearance. I don't know exactly from a date standpoint, but much older, and just a different layout. And this was the first church that I've been to at St. Andrew here today. It was the first church that I've been to in Florida that didn't have padded pews. I thought it was a Florida thing that no matter what, and given the demographic of most of the people that live in Florida, I understand the padded pews, but these were straight wooden pews. The kneelers were padded, but the pews were not padded at all. So little difference there, but this church appears to be newer, but very much in the same kind of Spanish architectural style, because that's where we are. That's the look. The area, everything's gonna has that if you've been to Florida, particularly southern Florida or southeastern Florida, actually either part of Florida, but primarily in southern Florida, it's very much Mediterranean Spanish architecture. So there's a lot of that going on. So I took some pictures, shared them this morning with you, or shared them with you on the socials. And just the key difference, or the key message that I want to share with you today, is that regardless of the structure, regardless of what happens, a continuation of yesterday, the mass is the same. There are little idiosyncrasies, little things that are different, like today, before they started mass, the lector, we said the St. Michael prayer before mass. Back in Pittsburgh, we say it after mass. But the actual mass part is the same, even though the building is dramatically different, and the decor, it's decorated different. There are different statues, different icons, different things within the church, but the mass is the same. And the other thing I want to share with you is that just on this journey, and one of the details of this journey, because the question came up yesterday when we were hanging out on the beach, was that the 40 churches, 40 days, not necessarily consecutive. If you look at the calendar and you measure out when Ash Wednesday is look at that date and you measure out and you count the days till Easter, the resurrection. It's more than 40 days on the calendar. So that gives me a little leeway as far as getting to, the goal is 40 churches within this time during Lent, from Ash Wednesday until Sunday of Easter. So it gives me a little bit of leeway as far as getting to the 40 different churches, and because it's more than 40 days. And so tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to be traveling. It's a full day of traveling, and so we'll see how the day goes, and I'm hoping that we can get back to Pittsburgh in time, depending on the weather and what all happens. But pray for me for a safe and uneventful and joyous travel back to Pittsburgh tomorrow. But depending on what time we get back, I have some ideas of some things that I can do to get to 40 churches in 40 days. I may have to duplicate some of the churches that I did last year, but the goal is just for this Lenten journey, 40 churches, 40 different churches during these 40 days of Lent between Ash Wednesday and Easter. So I wanted to share that with you, a little caveat. You may have some questions about that. So I hope you're enjoying the journey so far, and I hope you'll continue to go with me on the, continue with this journey. I'll continue to share it with you. Some of the messages over the last 2 days, I want to share those on a video too, but I don't want these to be really long. This is actually a little bit longer even today than what I would prefer to do, but I'll share some of that message with you over the next couple of days. But just remember, this journey is about getting better. You're working on yourself, becoming that, closer to becoming, or to become that human being that our Lord created you to be. That is the purpose of this Lenten journey at the absolute core. So hope you're having a great Friday. Hope you have an awesome day. We're going to hit the beach a little bit later today. And remember, share your smile with somebody today, because it just might make their day. Share it with everybody. Why not? Spread the love, the cheer, and your smile, because it just might change their day and make it a little bit better.